All right, let's see who's there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Well, we are live. Can you believe that? We are having a bit of a technicality here. My friend Emily is having a computer glitch. You see, we promised you to be authentic, and that's authentic is what we're going to be. So we F up sometimes. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. I am Khutso. I'm streaming to you from South Africa. And again, desperately waiting for my friend Emily to come on board. So I see we've got one. We're trying to figure this out as we go. There's somebody live on there. Well, whoever is live right now, would you please let us know who you are and where you're streaming from? I'm going to try and see if this thing works. You know the way they say things work and you never know if they do. So let me see. Who is there? Oh, nobody's there anymore. So it's just me, myself, and Emily. Okay. There is Emily coming on board. Hello, Emily. Are you there, Emily?
Good morning.
Hi. We're on. We are live.
Yes.
Hi. Well,
what a journey
you know what?
Here.
It's been an exciting day today, hasn't it? Just trying to pull everything together, and at the last minute, here we are.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, when a better time for a computer to get stolen and I have to reboot my computer, my old computer at the very last minute. So yeah, definitely, definitely a journey.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody, if you haven't met us, I'm Khutso, and my co-host is all right. And this is just us with Khutso and Emily. It's our weekly vlog / podcast. So Emily, welcome to our stream. Whoever is there or whoever is going to view this video later, thank you for checking us out. we think it will be interesting. We hope. We're rookies, total rookies, aren't we, Emily? How did it all start? Do you remember how we all started?
Yeah, I do remember. I remember I said, Khutso, you would have a great voice for a podcast. And somehow the evolution of this resulted in me being dragged into it.
Well, as I recall, that was a voluntary dragged into it. Yes.
Right. Voluntary. So now I have to, as part of this podcast, I have to drag you to my child who has just woken up.
Oh, did she just wake up? See, boys and girls, this is this is exactly how it works, right? Yeah, you can't ever, as a working mom, these things are tough, aren't they? You can never plan your day to go. Are you there, Emily?
I am here. We are in a new room.
So we can see you. Okay, no, that's fine. Well, if you can multitask, as I'm sure us moms all can do, can you do that?
Well, this is our life, isn't it? Multitasking. I think that I have learned to multitask more effectively than ever before.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Look, the color of this room is exactly the same that you can't even tell I moved.
Well, the lighting is better though. So for what it's worth. Hey, why don't we tell people a little bit about who we are and why, and who this podcast is for and what we think maybe will be covering, and essentially let's just start with who we are. The episode today is This Is It. This is us, Khutso and Emily. Right now, I believe we have exactly one person streaming in. Welcome. We can't see you. but I'm sure you can see us. Emily, as as a way to introduce ourselves, guess what? We choose to debut on exactly, arguably, the most important day in U.S. history, right? We're going to be competing with U.S.
Yeah,
elections. Yeah, and of course, that's
yeah.
very important to us because both of us are part U.S. nationals, right? Both of us can vote in the U.S. Yeah, we
Both of
have.
us, yeah, dual
Yeah,
citizenship and and the decision to debut today purely organic, as everything is on this show, and hoping to provide some kind of diversion and uplifting inspiration by illustrating our global society and the unity we can have in that society by
yeah.
by yeah.
I'm
Go
just
ahead,
responding.
Khutso.
No, I was just responding to a guest. I see somebody I know. He's my cousin, actually. He's in South Africa. So I'm streaming from South Africa. You're streaming from New Zealand. Both of us are part of both, we're dual citizens, right? You are American Kiwi. I'm South African American. Yes.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
there? Are you? Yeah.
and
Yeah. Emily, what's your history? How, yeah, a little bit about yourself. Where were you born? Why are you here? And how does that relate to the show?
my history. Well, my history is that I grew up in Africa. When I was one, moved to Liberia, and spent the bulk of my childhood living in Africa and Asia, moving around, following my father. He was an aid worker and worked in epidemiology, which um, is interesting in today's times because of the coronavirus, which is what he worked against, is the setting up of institutions to help prevent the spread of diseases like coronavirus and having pandemics like we're in now. Um, and then I ended up back in the States, and then moved to New Zealand in my early 20s, where I met
And
Khutso,
that's
where
where
our
you and
journey
I
began.
met. Yeah,
Yes.
that's where it started, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where it started. And we never lost touch, and we both went around the globe in different directions. I stayed in New Zealand, got married, and built a bit of a life here. And you tromped around
Kept going.
everywhere for a little while.
I've married several people along the way, right? As life happens.
Testing the waters in each country.
Yeah, when you're a certain age, you've really been around the block and back, right?
Yeah, there'll be a few stories related to that and
Oh
more.
yeah. So we'll be unpacking all of those, all of those. So guys, you
And
can't take us
yeah,
seriously. We're just here having fun. So sorry, keep going, Emily.
so then on that note of our global society and our you and I being these globetrotters / citizens of the world, I found this old diary entry last night that I had, and it said, I feel a strange comfort every time I'm in an airport, sitting in the lobby and
Me
watching
too.
people. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what it is? It's because an airport is neutral territory.
Yeah,
Everybody is from everywhere, and
yeah,
everybody is going through the same thing. You're traveling, you're having to do your passport, your ticket, you're
yeah,
stressed about getting on the plane,
yeah,
and 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 you're just in an airport. You are a global society. And I thought,
yeah,
because I always thought it was just the sense of travel, because I traveled so much. But last
yeah,
night I thought, no, it's the sense of belonging. belonging
Yeah.
to the globe and not to an individual country.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep. No, I can hear you. I do have a thing with airports too. My husband thinks it's hilarious. I just like to go sit there sometimes if I can't go anywhere for exactly those reasons. For me, it's just the mobility, the coming and going, and that, like you said, that's where you really get to experience the global village. So yeah.
yeah,
And on that note, can you believe it? We've already been chatting 10 minutes. So we better make sure we cover everything before we have to leave. We promised people we'd be on for 10 to 20 minutes or so. 15, 20. Yeah. Did you want
10
to
minutes
say
already.
anything
I
else?
told you, yeah. Usually these conversations go on for 40 minutes, but we can contain it in 15 minutes.
We're going to try because we're rookies, right? We're just starting out. Right?
And that is part of this journey. And part of this journey, lessons learned from this, is that
Yeah.
this is what it takes as a multitasker, as a global community, as a mother, as a father, as a working person, to put together a podcast / vlog. It takes practice and a few hiccups and interruptions, and this is reality. And that's what's different about our show compared to other shows, is we are incorporating reality into the show.
It's a bit like a reality show, right? I mean, you saw Emily walking around her house, and I was whispering to my daughter, who's sitting right here, who's reading very loudly, and my boys are upstairs making noise. So what you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? That's just what it is, right? And this is just a fun thing. Now we do this. We both work from home, right? Due to COVID, and I've worked for myself from home for a while. So these are just the realities of it. And a lot of us are not very honest about how we feel about certain things. So we want to be able to chat about those and laugh at them. Anyone who's willing to laugh at them. Right. So,
and so
Emily,
we hope that you would join us. We hope that we hope that you will join us, not only just listening, but also join us in one of our vlogs and one of our casts. It's fun. You'll enjoy it. Experience it. Humiliate yourself.
We think, right?
Advertise yourself. Use it as an opportunity.
Yes. And another piece that we're hoping to bring to life is we're going to be inviting all of, people from around the world. I mean, between the two of us, Emily, we probably know one or two people in most countries, right? Given how widely we've traveled the globe.
We have 52 countries we aim to cover.
Yeah,
that's
I'm sure
goal.
we know about, one or two people in each, except maybe for Antarctica and such. But most places,
I'm sure
if you're one of our friends, you're on.
I'm sure I can find someone. Being so close, I can sort that out. Maybe I'll go there myself. Just
Absolutely. Yeah, and even if you are so inclined, actually, now you see I'm topic hopping as I always do. Should we get on to who we think who would probably find the show interesting? Yes?
Absolutely. And hopefully everyone will find the show interesting.
Yeah, but more specifically, oops. Uh-oh, Emily, I muted you because I made this. Right. Oh, you're there, Emily. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love it. I love it. Khutso, I love it.
Yeah, and this little thing with the globe. This is like totally you and me, isn't it, Emily? I don't know which one is you, which one is me, but the globe is us, right? So
I love it.
I both of us I know feel very strongly that's how we identify ourselves. Yeah, and we feel strongly that we don't belong to a single country, even though we hold passports of a couple of countries each. I hold South African and American, U.S. Emily holds U.S. and Kiwi. actively. But I don't feel like I really belong to any place. I love to live everywhere around the world. To me, I just feel like my home is Earth, honestly.
And
And
I
sorry,
was
go ahead.
I was telling the story of how my daughter, every time she's somewhere and she sees someone new, she'll say, "Mommy, who is that human over there? Mommy, why does that human do that?" And it just touches me that she sees us
Mhm.
as humans and doesn't
Yeah,
identify us in other ways,
other
beyond
than
us
just
being other than
yeah,
just human. And that's how we aim
awesome.
to raise our children.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Emily, you got a couple, yes, and I have three, yes,
Yeah, together we have we're getting
five.
close to, what is it called, family?
The Brady Bunch.
A large family. Brady Bunch, that's it, the Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Brady Bunch. Yeah. No, I mean, that's it. We really feel strongly. I think if you identify yourself as a nationality of Earth, and if your religion is simply love, you don't ascribe to any specific religion. And if you really actually despise the notion of race, because we just believe we're all human, um, you'll probably, find our views digestible. That's just who we are. That's the way we speak. And
and I
if you
think
disagree, that's fine. That's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're not here to preach. We're not experts. We just like to, share who we are, and we want to hear how, get to know you as well, because it's all about discourse, isn't it?
yeah,
But this is not a starting point. This is home. That's who we are.
and bringing us together, and, in regards to religion, and it's about, even if you are part of a religion, bringing all of us together despite your religion.
Right.
And I think that particularly as today is our launch day, I think one of the most special quotes I saw someone put on Facebook is saying that have we have come together as a community across the globe, and that's what keeps us going, and that's what gives us hope.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think that that's what this is. It's bringing us together, and so I really look forward to the growth of this podcast and vlog. We may seem amateur at this stage, but we're progressing, and I think the organicness and the openness and the naturalness of this is what makes it special. So please do join us for some more fun and interesting and very topical
Organic.
episodes
Yeah. Speaking of
and
episodes,
bedroom hopping.
hey, Emily, what are some of the topics? Let's give people a taste of what we have, what we're thinking about. So next week, we're thinking we might talk about identity. We already touched a
Identity.
little bit about that. And of course, race is a big part of it. It sounds so huge and heavy and boring. It's just such a hairy topic. We're hoping to keep it very light,
Yes.
and fun. But
Wow.
it's just related to identity. That's what we're hoping to address next week. But we're hoping to cover a whole lot of, that's the gamut, if you like. Everything from COVID diaries, working from home, to mommy diaries, right? Those moments that you really don't want that are just really embarrassing as a parent, or as a professional, you know.
Showing a bit
And
of humility.
I'm sorry, Emily.
We're showing a bit of humility.
Yeah, a bit of humility and a bit of humor,
Yes.
importantly.
And
Yeah.
we have resilience on the table, and we have talking about being a woman and the reality of that, from not just from a career perspective or a mother perspective, but just some of the other challenges we face. But then also looking at, how fathers have coped in this situation, and how coming back to identity and transformation of roles. So there's so much to talk about, but not in a heavy sense. we get enough of that in our news and in our debates, and we're here to lighten the topic and just be real about it.
Okay. Anything else? We've been on 20 minutes now, Emily.
20 minutes, that went by fast. I guess we can talk.
I guess we can talk.
If you need a bit of chatter, listen to our episode.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll be back next week to talk
same
about
time. Daylight savings considered, factored in. You will hear it's about the same time. It will be the same time. Because we just realized, it's daylight savings in the US right now. We're like, oh, we didn't think about that. So this time, whatever time it is for you right now, that's when we're on.
Change. Every time we have a daylight savings.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, you know what? I think that's it for now. Guys, and if you have suggestions about what you would like to talk about, do give us a shout. Here is how you can. Ooh, I didn't put our email down. But, if you go to any of these places, you'll find our contact details, our Facebook, what is it called? Hang? Our address, they call it a hanglet. Oh, I forget what they call it. Hanger? I think they call it, meaning the name. It's just us blog, and YouTube. It's just us Khutso and Emily, and all the major podcast channels, including Spotify, and we'll also have.
Don't forget to follow us.
Yes, do click on the subscribe button somewhere. Subscribe. Okay, guys. That's it. We'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you in the next episode of Just Us. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, Emily. Bye-bye.